Chaturika Senaratna, and this is a collaborative study with Professor Chandanivitanachchi, representing the Rajrata University of Sri Lanka. And my research topic is on an identification of the use of irrigation system for the development of the industry of tourism. And this is done with a special reference to the ancient city of Anuradhapura. And this is the outline of my study. First, I'm going to introduce my introduction in relation to the study, and then problem statement, objectives, methodology, research questions, and finally, I'm going to describe on the data analysis and recommendation of my research. Yes, this is the introduction part of my research. First, it's very good to know what is the tourism sector. Here I have defined, and I have put a definition done by the World Tourism Organization. Based on them, the tourism comprises the activities of persons traveling to and staying in a place outside their usual environment. That means the outside of their origin country for not more than one consecutive year for leisure, business, and other purposes. Here, in this study, I'm going to introduce this particular tourism-related activities based on the city of Anuradhapura. Here, the ancient city of Anuradhapura plays a significant role in attracting thousands of tourists yearly with the purpose of cultural and heritage. And the ancient city of Anuradhapura is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Therefore, we have a lot of resources such as artifacts, museums, sculptures, pagodas in the ancient city of Anuradhapura. So in this case, throughout my research, I'm going to introduce, especially targeting the reservoirs for the tourism industry to promote the tourism industry here in Anuradhapura. Ancient Sri Lankan irrigation system had a huge number of village reservoirs as well as a network of water canals connecting these tanks and giving water to cultivated land. Here, in my research, I have identified several large-scale reservoirs to promote the tourism-based activities here in Anuradhapura. Those are the reservoirs of Basavakkulama, Tisavawa, Nuwarawawa, Mahakanadarawawa, Nachadu, and Kalawawa. I have selected some kind of special reservoirs to promote these tourism-related activities, to promote and enhance the tourist arrivals for the ancient city of Anuradhapura. So then now I'm going to show you some kind of images which we can adapt these reservoirs for the industry of tourism. Yes, this kind of activities actually we can promote for the industry of tourism in Anuradhapura. So this is the problem statement of my research. Tourism product related to Anuradhapura is not always diversified, because why? Every time we are offering the same products, it's not diversified well. Especially the cultural attractions, it means that the artifact museums, cultures, pagodas, those things are the attraction we are just offering for the tourists. But rather than that, we can promote these reservoirs for the tourism industry. So therefore, the arrivals of international tourists and tourist nights to Anuradhapura are not always satisfied at the required level because of not diversified the tourist products in Anuradhapura. And also tourist experience could be negatively damaged due to the product experience. This also again happened because of the less amount of activities and the less of the diversified product in Anuradhapura. So then you can see some, this is the table where I'm explain my problems statement furthermore. Here you can identify when it comes to Abhayagiriya, Jethavanaya, there are very less amount of tourists who are arriving to the ancient city of Anuradhapura. But when it comes to other sites, here you can see there are a lot of amount of tourist arrivals. So this is the issue. Why the particular tourist arrivals are very less here in Anuradhapura. So that is my question and my problem. Here, this is my objectives. The first objective and the general objective is my study is to identify water-based activities which can be applied for the irrigation system in Anuradhapura to diversify the experience of tourists. here, based on the reservoirs, I'm going to identify which water-based activities are good enough for the development of tourism industry here in Anuradhapura. Then I'm going to identify the way of promoting irrigation system to the tourism industry in Anuradhapura. Apart from that particular water-based activities, I have suggested some kind of ways to promote this tourism industry here in Anuradhapura. These are my research questions. What are the water-based activities which can be applied for the irrigation system in Anuradhapura? How to promote irrigation system in Anuradhapura for the tourism industry? So throughout my research, I have identified what types of water-based activities which can be adopted for the city of Anuradhapura, and how to promote this irrigation system, this gigantic reservoirs for the industry of tourism in order to attract more and more tourists for the ancient city of Anuradhapura. So then we can enhance the income of the government, and it would be really benefited for the economy in the Sri Lanka. This is the methodology. The quantitative method is employed for the study, and the secondary data such as websites, journal articles, research papers, and books were used to explore the identified objective of the research. This is the methodology. I have adapted this study. At the last, I'm going to introduce what kind of recommendation I'm suggesting via my research. First of all, the potential reservoirs such as Basavakulama, Tisavawa, Nuwarawa, Mahakanadarawa, Nachaduwa, and Kalawa, etc. can be used to develop tourism, especially the water-based activities for the tourism industry in the ancient city of Anuradhapura. Also, it can be created a unique and authentic experience by identifying water-based activities for the tourist with the purpose of leisure and irrigation. So here you can see kind of an image that how we can promote these reservoirs for the tourism sector. There are restaurant, cafes, coffee shops, hotels, viewpoints, floating restaurant, and shopping centers need to be well established without harming the view of its nature. It means that we can improve with the use of restaurant, cafes, and coffee shops, because of why these are the basic needs and aspiration of the tourist. Right, so this would be really nice if we can promote this particular segment for the reservoirs in Anuradhapura. So then organizing sport games and festivals based on the reservoirs. So once a year we can organize this kind of particular games, especially targeting the domestic tourists as well as the international tourists who are visiting to the ancient city of Anuradhapura. Via this, we can promote the ancient city of Anuradhapura in the globe. So then creating a proper nightlife for the tourists nearby the reservoirs. It means that actually tourists, they are spending $1,000 for their arrivals. So every time we need to give a proper value for their spending, so that if we can introduce some nightlife activities for the tourists based on the reservoirs, it would be really nice as well. So then I'm going to introduce what types of water-based activities which we can adapt for the ancient city of Anuradhapura. Those things are kayaking, jet ski, canoeing, swimming, fishing, photography, and boat safari can be introduced without harming to any flora and fauna in the lakes and reservoirs. It means the sustainable approach should be there when we are implementing this kind of water-based activities. As an example, I can introduce the Gregory Lake in Nuwara area. There you can see the particular, they have used very good planning to enhance the arrivals of tourists for the city of Nuwara area. So then creating photo location based on the reservoirs, we also can just think these kind of new trends in the industry. So we can give them a proper opportunity to have some kind of photograph, because of why a lot of tourists, the memory is the photograph. So then we can think about that in promoting these particular reservoirs for the tourism industry. Then creating an attractive landscape. This image was taken from the Google, and this is the Gregory Lake in Nuwara. So you can identify how the landscape is properly located and designed. So why can't we use these particular things for the ancient city of Anuradhapura to promote these reservoirs for the tourism industry? So the sustainable approach should be every time apply to decrease the negative impacts of using the irrigation system for the industry of tourism in Anuradhapura, because of why the flora and fauna and the other kind of resources are very sensitive. Therefore, finally, I would like to suggest, when we are developing the tourism sector in Anuradhapura, every time we should take in our mind to this sustainable approach every time. Otherwise, a lot of negative impacts can be arisen. So when we are promoting this particular water-based activities, as well as identified suggestions for the tourism industry, sustainable approach should be there to enhance the tourist arrivals for the ancient city of Anuradhapura. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for hearing me. Thank you.